So far we have seen that you can type your variables like this, but instead of typing it like this, you can also have something called a type alias. A type alias is created with the type keyword, so I can call this str and then I can just use string for now. And then instead of having string directly here, I can use this alias. You can think of type alias like variables. This is a variable that holds this type, and now I can use this variable here. You can choose to have it as small s in the str, that is also fine, but the common convention with type aliases is to have the first character in uppercase. And now when you have a type alias like this, you can use it in multiple places. For example, in this second line, I can have cos2, which is also str, and then I have this. And now if I don't want these causes to be strings anymore, I can easily come here, change this to number, and now in these two places I have to use that number. So here if I say 50, we don't have any errors on that line. If I say 100, we don't have any errors on this line. Now in the case of strings or numbers or booleans, type aliases may not really be beneficial, but they become very beneficial, especially when you want to have an object type. For example, I have this user object type, and now I can use this for the first user. I'll call this user1. I'll type this to user, and our TypeScript is going to help me with the properties I need for this object. So I need a name, I need an age, I need some hobbies. You can see I'm still not done. What it says here is property address is missing, so I still need to provide all of that. Country, house number, I would say 1000. You can see the address property is still not done because street name is missing. But when I provide a street name, you can see all of this is now fine. And I can also use this for another user. I call this user2, which has different fields here. And now if I want my user object to look different, I can easily come to this type alias. Let's say we want to add a new field. We'll call this native language, and this should also be a string. Now you can see that in user1, I need to provide native language, and in user2, I also need to provide native language. So with type aliases, you can have the same type used in multiple places, and if you need to change that type, you can change it in one place instead of changing it in multiple places. Now I can also come here and say native language should be optional, and now user1 doesn't have that error anymore. User2 also doesn't have that error anymore.